Hello, this is Katie and welcome to my channel. So today is the start of Inktober and I wanted to go ahead and film some of the stuff that I'd be using for this challenge. It's my first run of Inktober, so here it goes. This is going to be a pretty short video because I'm going to be really busy trying to get, into the swing of things. So the first thing I want to show you, of course, is if you've seen my previous video so far, my sketchbook, which I painted over the weekend. This is a little Strathmore kind of watercolor booklet, and I have some prompts on the inside. I don't know how well you guys can see these on the camera here. I'm going to be following the official prompt list and taking some inspiration from this unofficial one that I found on Instagram from MaddieInk19, just to give it more of a Halloween sort of feel. So that's the first thing, my sketchbook. I will be doing kind of rough sketches in my main sketchbook, which is kind of messy, this big thing right here. And I'll be doing more finished pieces in the watercolor sketchbook that you see here. So the next thing I want to go over is what I'm actually going to be inking with, I guess. And there's a couple of things. The first is going to be my paintbrushes. I just picked these up not too long ago. I think they're Hobby Lobby, although you might be able to find them in your local craft store. I just thought they were pretty. I think I saw Mira Byler, using these, and they're just cute, and I really need a couple of really good watercolor brushes. So I'm going to be using those primarily to kind of paint the lines, because while I do like inking traditionally, like with these sort of dip pens, this is the one that came in this the Art Snacks Inktober box. Well, I do kind of like to do like ink calligraphy, and I like to write with these things. They kind of get caught up in the fibers of the sketchbook. So I'm going to opt to do more brush work because I feel like I need to practice that a little bit more to be able to get more line control. And the ink that I'm primarily going to be using is this waterproof Higgins Black Magic ink. And the reason I'm picking this particular one is because I've used it for several years now, and it's got a little dropper at the top of it, but it really is, once it dries down, pretty waterproof. So I haven't had any trouble with it so far. I think it's important, especially for this next part I'm about to show you, to have a really good waterproof ink for this sort of work, as I'm going to be using for just very small pops of color some fountain pen ink that I have. So I write primarily with fountain pens. I love how many colors that you can get and the diversity that you can do with fountain pens. So, oh man, I will be using all my fountain pen inks, just one per day. I might have more than 31, which is ridiculous, but fountain pen people, you know where I'm coming from, right? So anyway, yes, I will be using fountain pen inks. This one is my favorite one, which is kind of like a burgundy purple color. I have a little swatch here on the front. I have it in many of my pens. So I'll be using a couple of my favorites. This one, excuse the dusty bottle, but this is the Emerald of Chivor. I want to say Chivor. And in the bottom is like some really cool gold flakes that you can kind of shake up into the ink. And I don't know how it will be on the watercolor paper yet, but on my fountain pen paper, it sheens green, teal, red. It's beautiful. So even though I'm only going to be using like one color per drawing, if I do a pop of color at all, the ink has the possibility to give me more dimension to that. So that's what I'm going to be using fountain pen ink for. And along those lines, let's see, besides, the brushes and whatnot, I have a couple of other tools that I'll be using every once in a while. The first being my fountain pen of choice, the Carbon Ink Desk Pen by Platinum, for really tiny little hatch marks and shadings. So you can see this has like a very, very fine nib. And this has an ink cartridge in it. And this ink is also waterproof, so if I need to go over it after it dries, then I can do that without, fearing it smudging or anything like that. And I have other fountain pens as well. Like, this is a Pilot Falcon. It's a little bit expensive, but I got it slightly after college and pretty used, well loved already. So this will have like different colors inks in there, and it has like a flexi type nib. Let's see, I'll write on this canvas here so you can see. So I can get like a lot of line variation, which I kind of love about it. So I'll be putting a couple of different colors in this one as we go along too. Depends on how much time I have to try and get a little bit more variation without really, without really having to worry about tools like these sort of nibs where they would get caught on the paper if I'm only using the fountain pens for a little bit of it. So I think pretty much aside from, your generic mechanical pencils, I have some Col-Erase pencils that I'll be using, and some white gel pens and things. Aside from that, maybe I'll use like these little, they're deleter kind of brush pens. Again, I kind of want to stick with using brush ink type things so that I can get better at kind of controlling that. And I think that was sort of the goal of the challenge to begin with. Like I said, I'm very new to this, so I'm going to have to look into that a little bit more. But either way, I think this is going to be really fun. And I do want to kind of close this out by saying you don't have to have fancy fountain pens or fancy inks. You can just use any marker, any ballpoint pen that's ink to do Inktober. It doesn't have to be full completed pieces. At least I'm working full time. I'm going to try my best to get some sort of completed looking stuff in here, but I don't know what this month is going to bring. But yeah, I'm definitely going to try and do a lot of the spooky sort of theme. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a view of the prompt list that I'm doing again, just so you can kind of check it out here towards the end of the video. I want to kind of solidify sort of the sketchbook. So if we look through it, you might not need the prompts per se to know that it's an October, Inktober type thing going on. I definitely want to get like witchy, spooky feel to it. And man, I'm just looking forward to it. I'm very excited. So as of the time of this posting, and it should be somewhere Tuesday afternoon, I will be actively working on pieces. Now, I will also be able occasionally to go ahead and post what I'm working on. And I don't know, I hope that everyone who is participating can get through the whole challenge and sees it as more of a time to have fun and to start improving rather than trying to compare yourself to other people. I know that I need a lot of practice in a lot of things, but I don't know, I'm ready for this. I really want this challenge to go well, and so that's why I prepared a little bit ahead of time. I kind of know where I'm going from here. So like this video if you're also participating in Inktober, and comment down below if you also want specific prompts for me to record, because I will do my best. I just want to make, good videos for you guys to check out, especially as I'm practicing YouTube as well. All kinds of new skills this Inktober, so let's do it. All right. So again, thank you for listening to me ramble on about inking and art. There's going to be more of it here on this channel, so thank you. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and an amazing Inktober challenge. Bye!